بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله سبحانه وتعالى سيدنا القرآن الكريم فبشر عباد Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving a good news for those who are those الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون So those who listen and reflect upon the best of it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is giving them the good news. So what is the good news? أولئك الذين هداهم الله. This is the good news. They are getting the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A guidance from Allah. And the guidance, when your heart is comfort with the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when your heart is feeling safe, when you read Al-Quran Al-Kareem, when you fight the shaitan, when you feel with every verse from the Quran that you are connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every verse. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Al-Quran Al-Kareem? And what is the benefit of reading Al-Quran Al-Kareem? The first benefit is to feel comfort and calm with the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To feel that you are connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Quran Al-Kareem, it's an ocean of good deeds. Ocean. And if you read one page in the night of power, it's equal to one khatam. One page in good deeds equal to full khatm al-Quran. So Al-Quran Kareem is a plenty of good deeds for everyone who wants more good deeds. And what makes Al-Quran Kareem better than any other memorization of Allah? What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives those who keep reading Al-Quran Al-Kareem and understanding Al-Quran Al-Kareem. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them a special name. As the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, إِنَّهُمْ أَهْلُ اللَّهِ وَخَاصَّةً. The people of Allah and the special people for Allah. So if you want to be from those who are special to Allah, the people of Allah, you should keep your relation ongoing with Al-Quran Al-Kareem. And what other benefit Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving those who keep the connection with Al-Quran Al-Kareem? On the day of judgment, they are given a chairs made of light. This is the people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Chairs made of light. He made them special because they are His special people. And moreover than that, better than this, which I believe everyone should work very hard for this. As the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Al-Mahiru fil Quran, the one who is very good in Al-Quran. Very good. Very good means what? Very good in reading, right? Very good in understanding, very good in reflecting, very good in memorizing. So this is the one who is very good in Al-Quran. What the Prophet ﷺ said? He said, those will be on the day of judgment with the angels, but not with the people. They will not stand with the public. On the day of judgment, they will be with the angels, and not with any angels. He said, with the angels, as-safara al-kiram al-barara. Who are those angels? Anyone knows who are those angels? As-safara al-kiram al-barara. Who are those? Any idea? No. Any answer? As-safara al-kiram al-barara. Who are those angels? No. They are not the one who's writing your deeds, bad or good. No. This is a very special angel. And no, not Hamalat al-Arsh. Not the angels who carry the throne. They are the throne lifters, but not they are. They're not as-safara al-kiram al-barara. I'm asking you because the Shaykh, the Imam, he just recited now in Surah Abasa wa Tawalli. And that's why I brought this topic just now. This wasn't my main topic, but I just catch it because of the Imam. I want you to know who are those al-kiram, al-malaika, as-safara, al-kiram, al-bara. Those are the angels who are in charge for al-lawh al-mahfuz. Allahu Akbar. The book of Allah. This is the main book. Allah named it the mother book. وَإِنَّهُ لَفِي أُمِّ الْكِتَابِ لَدَيْنَا لَعَلِيٌّ مَكِينٌ. al-Kitab. Those are the angels who maintain the mother book or al-lawh al-mahfuz. So imagine where those angels will be on the day of judgment. They are very special to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that person who is very good in Al-Quran, he will be with them. So do you think that person who are in that day with those angels, he will see a hard time? No. He will see the sun close to his head? No. He will see rush and people, they are too much crowded around him? No. Because he is very special to Allah. That's how Al-Quran elevates the person living with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why this is a call for every one of us, that Al-Quran shouldn't be kept away after Ramadan. Al-Quran and the fasting, both they will come on the day of judgment to defend you. Imagine what the Prophet ﷺ said. He said that fasting and Al-Quran will come on the day of judgment to defend you. The fasting will say, "Oh Allah, I stopped him from eating and drinking and getting his desires on days. Oh Allah, make me shafi' for him." And then Al-Quran, he will say, "Oh Allah, I stopped him from getting sleep." You are not getting enough sleep, right? I saw many people, they are just getting a nap while I'm talking. I know they are tired. I know. If I am in their position, I will get a nap too. So you are not getting enough sleep in the last 10 days. Your schedule of sleeping is totally corrupted. You are not getting 6 and 7 hours. So it's only 2 hours, sometimes 2, sometimes 1, sometimes half. So the Quran stopped you from getting enough sleep. And on the day of judgment, the Quran will say, oh Allah, I prevent him from getting enough sleep. He stands awake all night reading my verses. Oh Allah, make me shafi' for him. And you know what is the meaning of shafi'? Protection. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, فَيُشَفَّعَ. They are granted the shafa'ah. They will be granted the shafa'ah, the fasting and Al-Quran. Now imagine if your lawyer in front of Allah is the words of Allah. What do you want more than that? Allah will listen to his words? Yes. He will give you the shafa'ah. Yes, yes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I sincerely apologize. Please forgive me. You know, subhanAllah, everyone get tested. And I'm really sorry, Sheikh, for interrupting your halaqah, inshallah. We'll give you a break, inshallah, so you can, inshallah, take a deep breath. Some sister, she panicked because her bag was stolen last week. And now, again, not here, alhamdulillah. Here, everybody have a good heart, alhamdulillah. She lost it somewhere in a different place. And now she went to check her phone, she could not find it. So she was so screaming loudly that she lost her phone. So she thought that someone stole her phone. So I went and I calmed her down, alhamdulillah, and we take care of that and we're trying to figure out what happened. Apparently, she left it in the car. Okay, it's okay. It happened. Mistakes happen, you know what I mean? That's okay. But she wants to apologize and she's feeling embarrassed. Like she made a big drama and a big scene, you know what I mean, for no reason. So now this is a test for everybody. You know what I mean? In the last month, there's always somebody will be tested. May Allah bless the sister at the back because she was being very patient. She even lost her support. She not even those volunteers I'm talking about. You know what I mean? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them tremendously for their patience. You know? And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all of you for your patience, inshallah. So sometimes things like that happen in the masjid. We just have to take care of it, inshallah, calm down, try to figure out what happened, and we'll try to find a solution. Because when a problem happens, if you panic, it will not solve it. So that's why I told her, come down, inshallah, and we found a solution for her, and apparently she left it in the car. So inshallah, we apologize for this mess that happened. Please forgive us, inshallah, though we do anything wrong in the tabak. If there's anything happened on our side, please forgive us for the interruption. Jazakallah khair.
Sallu ala Rasulillah. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. So this is the level of Al-Quran. If you are connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the Quran is always with you, so you have to trust that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to take care of you. And for the matter of testing, everyone is exposed for a trial in his life, right? Everyone. No one is exceptional. But the real test, we are going to have 5 major tests. 5 major tests. The first one, when you are in your grave. This is the first major test. And everyone will be questioned. 3 questions. It's about your aqidah, your faith. This is the major test and trial. And then the second test, when you are on as-sirat al-mustaqim, the narrow road on the top of hellfire. That is the real test. And this is a practical test. So the first one is just question and answer. But this test is a practical. How are you going to walk on the Sirat al-Mustaqim? On which speed? Are you going to pass it or are you going to fail? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَوْ نَشَاءُ لَمَسَخْنَاهُمْ عَلَى مَكَانَتِهِمْ فَمَا اسْتَطَاعُوا مُضِيًّا وَلَا يَرْجِعُونَ. So Allah said, He is able to freeze you there on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. And you cannot go forward and you cannot go backwards. And then you're going to stuck on there. And the Jahannam is underneath. This is a real test. And the next test is also in your grave. For all your actions which you did, it's another test. For your prayers, did you offer your prayers or not? Did you do it correctly or not? Did you make tahur correctly or not? The Prophet ﷺ, one time he passed by two graves. And he said, by Allah, they are getting a punishment in their graves. And not for any major sin. They asked him, what are those sins, Ya Rasulullah? He said, the first one was doing backbiting. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Backbiting. And I already talked about backbiting. The problem of backbiting, it becomes a norm for everyone. And it becomes kind of the fruit of our gathering. It's the fruit. It's Tim Horton for every gathering. Subhanallah. It's the template. And no one knows how serious it is. It is spoiling your fasting. It's spoiling your good deeds. The Prophet ﷺ said, do you know who's the bankrupt? They said, Ya Rasulullah, he's the one who don't have money or property or fortune. He said, no. He's that person who comes on the day of judgment with the mountains of good deeds. Mountains. From where he get these mountains? He was helping poor, he was praying, he was fasting, he was making sadaqah. He was doing an excellent job. But he was backbiting. He was backbiting and doing other stuff. So the Prophet ﷺ said, then they will take from his good deeds and give to those whom he hurt them. Until his good deeds is over. Then they're going to take from his bad deeds and give to him. And then he will be dumped in the hellfire. Imagine, mountains of good deeds will not help him. Will not help him. They told the Prophet ﷺ about a woman. She's a companion. A woman companion. They said, Ya Rasulullah, she's fasting all days, all the extras. She's praying the night qiyam all days. But she's hurting her neighbors with her tongue. She's hurting her neighbors with her tongue. So how she hurt them? Backbiting, number one. Tough talking, rude talking, bad words. Bad words. Unfortunately, the F word now, it becomes like a crazy in this community. Crazy. Some people, they say, if he say it in English, Allah will not calculate. He will not count it. It's counted. Even you speak it in French see, in any language you say it, it is counted. So your mountain of good deeds is gone. وَقَدِمْنَا إِلَى مَا عَمِلُوا مِنْ عَمَلٍ فَجَعَلْنَاهُ هَبَاءً مَنْثُورًا. Doesn't work. So this is the real test. And then the biggest test, when you are in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the biggest test. Imagine when you have an interview with one of the HR managers and you are looking for a job, so you will prepare yourself. Oh, what questions he's going to ask me. So you will be nervous. But this feeling is nothing compared when you are in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the biggest test. You know that you cannot hide anything. You cannot lie. The only way, you have to speak the truth. How you will feel about all what you have done? What you gonna ask him? What you gonna tell him if he asks you, I told you to come for Fajr prayer, why you are not coming? I asked you to read Al-Quran, why you are not reading my Quran? I told you do this and you didn't do it. The Prophet ﷺ teach us how to pray. Why your prayer is not correct? Why your prayer is not completed? Today in the prayer of Jum'ah, I'll give you an example. MashaAllah, every one of us, we are adult. We are able to search and find what is the right things to do in Jum'ah prayer. He was texting all the time when the Imam is making khutbah. What is this? Texting. The Prophet ﷺ said, if you say to your brother, hush, only hush, فَقَدْ لَغَوْتَ, your Jum'ah reward is gone. It's gone. And he was texting all the time. Subhanallah. We don't really give the prayer the value it should be. When we know that the prayer is the first thing we will be questioned about on the day of judgment. It's the first thing. And the Prophet ﷺ said, if you make it, if your prayer was good, everything after that will be easier. If your prayer was not good, then everything after that will be more difficult. So your prayer is the measure for you, where you are going after that. If your prayer is perfect, everything is done correctly, then after that things will become easy. But the problem that we have some shortage. And the shortage of fearing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our prayer, we don't have the feeling whom we stand for. Whom? When you are standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you should know who is Allah. Who is Allah? One time the Prophet ﷺ with the companions, they were coming towards Mecca. Then he said to his companions, when they passed by one of the mountains, he said, keep going, this is the mountain called Jumdan. He means the mountain. Proceeds everyone in the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The mountain makes zikr of Allah more than the human. When you know that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا يُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِهِ, everything in this universe is making zikr for Allah. Everything. The stones, the mountains, the water, the trees, the birds, the animals, everything. Only us. We are busy about the memorization of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ used, when he eat, he used to hear the tasbih of the food when he put it in his mouth. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Everything. The Prophet ﷺ said, I was given the permission to tell you about one of the angels who are carrying the throne of Allah. The distance between his ear and his shoulder is 700 years of walking. Between the ear and the shoulder of the angel, 700 years of walking. How huge is this angel? How huge? This is the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we stand in front of Allah, we don't feel really that we are in front of the greatest thing, the greatest Allah. When we say Allahu Akbar, what that means? We are glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing bigger, nothing greater than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we are not performing our prayers the way He asked. We should have this feeling to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله. A mountain of rocks. If Allah sent the revelation of Al-Quran to this mountain, the rocks will explode. Because the words of Allah is really heavy. Is really heavy. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, إِنَّا سَنُلْقِي عَلَيْكَ قَوْلًا ثَقِيلًا. It's heavy. And when the Quran sent to the Prophet ﷺ in the cold and winter time, he used to feel so warm and he was sweating like crazy. It's a heavy words, but when we read it, we feel nothing. It didn't go to our heart. It didn't touch. That is our major problem. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَلَمْ يَأْنِ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ وَمَا نَزَلَ مِنَ الْحَقِّ. Isn't the time yet for the believers to fear the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? To fear Allah? Isn't the time yet? When this going to happen? We come here in Ramadan to come closer to Allah, to feel more close, and to read the Quran, and to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is how the Quran will clean our hearts. But look what Allah said. وَلَا يَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلُ فَطَالَ عَلَيْهِمُ الْأَمَدُ فَقَسَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ. So don't be like those, the people of the book, means the Jew and the Christian. Don't be like them. They are away from their book, so their hearts become hard. They are hard hearts. And that's how it works. When our hearts become hard, we don't feel the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't reflect upon it. And reading the Quran, it becomes like a newspaper, like any magazine, like anything you read it from your iPhone or from your phone. This is not Al-Quran. The reading of Al-Quran has to go deeper to your heart, to feel the words. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, خَلَقَ لَكُم مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. One time Bilal radiallahu anhu, he went to wake up the Prophet ﷺ for the Fajr Jama'ah. He found the Prophet awake. He asked him, Ya Rasulullah, you still awake? He said, how can I get sleep after this verse is revealed to me? إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is explaining to us how to reflect upon the verses of Allah, how to think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creation. This is what we miss in our worship. The first worship the Prophet ﷺ used to do is thinking about the creation of Allah. So we should get back to this. Think about the creation of Allah to feel how great is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Think about His blessings to feel that you are not giving Him the right praising and the right thanking. We should think about His trials to fear Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. The trials, when it comes, it's really hard. It's really hard. So always ask Allah to keep you safe, not to try you. The Prophet ﷺ said, إِسْأَلُ اللَّهَ الْعَافِيَةِ. إِسْأَلُ اللَّهَ الْعَافِيَةِ. Don't ask Him for trials. You may not pass the trial. Ask Him al-afiyah, to keep you safe. So the message today is about Al-Quran. Al-Quran, the words of Allah. It's changed. The Quran changed the Arabs, the people of the desert, from the ignorance to the leaders of the world. It has to do the same with us. If we react very well, if we understand what we are reading. It is not only we read a newspaper, it is not a newspaper. It is words of Allah. And it will elevate you with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet ﷺ said, the one who read the Quran will be called on the day of judgment, and Allah will tell him, read and praise. Read and praise. So your degree in Jannah will stop where you will stop on the day of judgment. So this is Al-Quran. Al-Quran is a big fortune. Allah gave it to us, but we ignore it. Unfortunately, we should get back to Al-Quran Kareem to understand it, read it, and feel it. Feel this is the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I left behind me Al-Quran Kareem and my Sunnah. So if you stick to it, you will not lose your way, and the fitan will be away from you. والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم اجمعنا على ما يرضيك واجعلنا من المتحابين فيك. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مباركا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده معصوما ولا تجعل منا ولا فينا شقيا ولا محروما. اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة ونعوذ بك من سخطك والنار. اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة ونعوذ بك من سخطك والنار. اللهم إنا نسألك صحبة حبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم إنا نسألك الفردوس الأعلى. اللهم إنا نسألك الفردوس الأعلى ونسألك لذة النظر إلى وجهك الكريم يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم استر عوراتنا وآمن روعاتنا واغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا وأنت راض عنا. اللهم أعتق رقابنا من النار. اللهم أعتق رقابنا من النار. اللهم أعتق رقابنا من النار. اللهم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إن هذه القلوب اجتمعت على طاعتك. اللهم إنا قد اجتمعنا على طاعتك راجين عفوك ورضاك فلا تردنا خائبين. اللهم لا تردنا من بابك مطرودين ولا من رحمتك آيسين يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم اجبر كسرنا وارحم ضعفنا وتول أمرنا ولا تسلط علينا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم اعف عنا وعن والدينا وعن أزواجنا وأولادنا وذرياتنا. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين، وارفع بفضلك راية الحق والدين. اللهم هيئ لهذه الأمة قادة صالحين وأئمة عاملين بفضلك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم يا أرحم الراحمين، لا ينقضي رمضان إلا وقد غفرت لنا ذنوبنا وبيضت لنا صحائفنا وجعلتنا من عتقائك من النار. اللهم يا رب اكتب لنا القبول في ليلة القدر. اللهم اكتب لنا القبول في ليلة القدر، واجعلنا فيها من الفائزين، واجعلنا فيها من المقبولين، واجعلنا فيها من المعتقين يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا فوضنا أمورنا كلها إليك، ولا حول لنا ولا قوة إلا بك. اللهم يا رب أعد رمضان علينا سنين مديدة وأعواما عديدة. اللهم تقبله منا يا رب على التمام والكمال، إنك أنت الكريم الرحيم. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. ربنا وآتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. آمين.